Okay, everybody, just want to do a really quick unboxing and kind of first impressions of the CZ P-07, the threaded version in the urban gray. I just picked this gun up yesterday and had it transferred through a local dealer. Picked it up on Gunbroker for $528, I believe it was, low 500s, which this gun is really hard to find. The CZ P-07 in general and the P-09s are extremely difficult to get everywhere that I've looked. They're really hard to get a hold of. And this was the gun that I wanted, which was the gun that had the threaded barrel and the Trijicon high suppressor night sights. It has everything on it that I believed I wanted, and I've had a couple CZ in the past, the P-09 especially, and I like that gun. Of course, this one's the urban gray, so they call it. It's kind of more of a, I think, like an urban FDE. I don't know, it really doesn't look that gray to me, but I like the color contrast anyway. I like the fact that the slide rides down in the frame. Front and rear serrations I like, that it it has the ability to be able to rack that slide from the front and the rear, and you really need those serrations in here with this slide riding so low in the frame, because it is kind of hard to get some meat on the slide, because it is of course much lower than a standard like Glock or M&P slide. So it is nice. It's a nice feature to have those on there. The trigger on the gun, honestly, I pretty much knew that it was going to not be fantastic right out of the gate from everything that I've seen online. And it seems like most everybody's either going to Cajun Gunworks or CZ Custom Shop and spending that $250 basically to have the trigger basically gutted and redone. And I may do that in the future. I want to kind of play with the gun a little bit and make sure that it's what I want to use as my EDC before I decide whether I want to throw another couple $100 in it at this point. But as of so far, like I said, of course there's no magazine in it, and there's no round and chamber. It's clear. I like the fact that the decocker is easy to get to. Of course, it comes with the controls so you can switch it out, so you can carry it cocked and locked if you want. I will not do that with this particular firearm, but you have the ability to do that if you're kind of more into the 1911 single action deal. But like I said, the double action pull on this thing is heavy, real heavy, and it stages a lot. But it's doable. The single action side is actually pretty crisp and clean. It's not horrible. It's I would say probably in the 5.5, 6 pound range, something like that. And the reset on it is not horrible. It's okay. Double action side, like I said, is a little bit on the stiff side. But other than that, my only real kind of downfall on the gun is, and I have pretty normal size hands, I think. I mean, I shoot M&Ps, Glocks, SIGs, everything else, and I don't really have problems with reaching the controls. But on this particular gun, and I had the same issue with my P-09, is with the size of the decocker lever that they have on here, it's hard to manipulate the slide stop, mostly because you're pushing down on the decocker at the same time you're trying to get to a slide stop. So for me, when I go to do mag changes, it seems easier just to go ahead and slingshot the slide than it is to try to break my grip, so to speak, reach over top of the decocker, and really try to manipulate that thing to get it to drop. So that's my one and only downfall that I've seen so far with the gun. The rest of it I love. Mag release and stuff is nice. Full, decent Picatinny rail is nice to have. I like the fact that the trigger is kind of more of a flat face trigger, which is nice. Of course, one thing you do run into with issues with a lot of these guns, especially threaded ones and ones with suppressor sights, is holster selection. Well, I'm fortunate enough to live in the fabulous state of Florida, and we always have gun shows all the time. And I was able to locate some guys that were at the show, and these guys are from Bullseye, and they're out of Orange Park. And of course, they didn't give me anything for free or promise me anything. They made me some holsters, and what I wanted was something that specifically fit this P-07. They also made me one for my Glock 23. But this holster, man, the gun fits perfectly in this holster. I mean, it fits like a glove. They make them in about 5 minutes at the show. They already have the inner and the outer part of the Kydex riveted together, and it's all flat. So they just basically heat it, press it, add whatever clips you want. They either have regular belt clips. I chose these speed clips, and they work really well. And like I said, these holsters, if you get all black, are $40. And if you choose any kind of color, which they have everything imaginable for outer cover, outer colors, is another $10. So it's really not that bad. For $50 you get one. And if you're LE or military or anything like that, they drop $5 off the holsters, and they make you good deals. And like I said, the stuff fits real well. It's super tight. Your trigger guard is completely covered in every way. Your controls are still easy to get to. Your mag button, I've always had problems with guys making these holsters real high up in this trigger guard area, and you can't get your hand in. Well, this one, it's like boom, your hand fits right in like a glove. It works real well. It's a good quality holster. So like I said, if you're looking for holsters for your guns, and you can give these guys a call. If they don't have them in stock, they'll make them for you. No big deal. A couple days. Sometimes you can't find what you need on eBay. I know with a lot of my firearms I cannot, because they're guns like this that have suppressor sights or lights or whatever. These guys can do it all for you. So if you're looking for a good holster, give these guys a shout, and see what they can do for you. So either way, guys, like I said, so far I'm liking the P-07, other than the little issue I have, getting to the controls. And honestly, that may come down to me. If I really like this gun that much, I may modify the decocker on the left side a little bit to minimize its size, and give me a little bit easier reach to get to my slide stop. I don't really know yet. We'll see how that goes. But either way, guys, so far I like the gun. Pretty nice, and we'll see where it goes. Take care, guys.